They're a very patient, very deliberate team. They play the zone. They run the high post. I imagine you've been preaching to your team all week. Be patient this ballgame.
Well, I think that's the key when you play Jackson, and you have to be patient but still continue to play hard, because if you start to ease up a little bit while you're being patient, they'll hurt you badly. And from the same standpoint, if you're not patient, they'll hurt you badly because they'll take advantage of their opportunities.
I think a lot of folks around the area look at Jackson. They think McCormick. They think Brown Sword. Hamill, I think, has been maybe their best player in a sense because he's been able to come off the bench and he's had double-figure games when a lot of the guys have not been scoring. He's been able to pick it up for them.
I think so. You take a look at their scoring, and obviously with Hipsher, Brown, Sword, and McCormick, they have three of the best guards that you can have in the out on the perimeter. But Hamill, when he comes in the game, I think gives them that fourth score. And any time in a high school basketball team, if you can get four legitimate scoring threats, that's really going to help you be a good team.
Pressure-wise, I'm not sure that Jackson has faced a lot of in-your-face defense. I know that the team from Georgia was able to do that a little bit, but part of the game plan has come right out after.
Well, and that's the way we always play, and it's going to be important for us to come out and give good pressure against Jackson. But once again, from the same standpoint, not give up position where we're going to give them 4-on-3, 3-on-2, 5-on-4 breaks, where we're losing shooters and especially allowing McCormick and Hipsher to spot up behind the three-point arc.
All right, good enough, Dave. We're looking for win number 10 tonight, halfway through the season. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you down the road. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
We go courtside with Larry Taylor, the Jackson Polar Bears, set to take on the Bulldogs from Canton McKinley tonight. Larry, before we talk about the Bulldogs, coming out of that ball game last night, a tough physical game. It looked like 3-point win for you. Physically, are you ready to go again?
Oh, absolutely. You know, this is the time of the year when you want to do that, Sam. You got the Federal League has been always noted for playing Friday, Saturday, and it's a 64-minute war is what we call it. And you know, Lake played us very well over there. They played a great game. Bruce had a great game plan. Their kids played it out to the end, and it came down to the last couple of possessions. And we had been finishing games very well, but I was really proud of our kids last night. They finished it out well. We made our foul shots, and you just got to give a ton of credit to Lake. Boy, they were really playing well at home. They had a fired-up crowd. They honored their football team last night for the great season. So it was a good old-fashioned Federal League game, like they all usually are.
Did you and your staff, the kids, have a chance? Did you get together this morning, go through a walkthrough, or any preparation for this one tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got together this morning and went over some things, and, you know, McKinley's not going to try to do a lot of things differently. They're just going to come at you with their athleticism, and they're going to continue to try to pressure you defensively and would lead you to those big turnovers that they're looking for. And on the offensive end, they're going to keep that ball moving and crash the boards, and you got to get a body on people, or they'll get first and second shots, and that'll make it a long evening in here if we do allow them to do that.
Larry, this has been such an outstanding series between these two clubs, especially late 80s into the 90s. There's really not much you can tell of the kids because you guys have basically been running the same stuff for a long time, and you know what McKinley's going to do. It's just who wants it more.
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, the kids know each other better than we do at times. They play together in the summers and in the playgrounds, and they've done those kind of things, and there's really been a great mutual respect between the two schools and the game that's being played. So, you know, there's not a whole lot you can talk about on a Jackson-McKinley game except what you said, Sam. It's time for the kids to go out there and do what they do best, make some big plays, and maintain the composure that you're going to need in a game with a big crowd and everything that's going to be here tonight.
Larry, before we let you go, a couple of guys that have really been playing some excellent basketball for you the last 2 weeks.
Well, you know, I'm happy with our whole team. You know, Sean McCormick, Aaron Brown Sword, and Andy Hipsher have definitely been our skilled players. They've done things very well, but I've really been pleased with Jason Hamill coming off the bench, and Matt Besford had some big plays for us last night off the bench. Chris Grizak and John Taloni have been young kids who played JV basketball last year that have had to learn on the court, and that's tough to do in the league and the schedule that we played. So I'm really happy with our team, Sam. They've done a great job. Our coaches have worked hard at it, and you know, we're 9-1, and that's a great start. We're a little bit surprised, but we'll definitely take it.
Well, Larry, you look for win number 10 tonight. Should be an outstanding matchup. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck.
Okay, Sam. Good seeing you again. Thank you.
All right, you've heard from Larry Taylor of Jackson and Dave Hoover of Canton McKinley. We are about 6 minutes away before we tip it off tonight here at the Fieldhouse. It's unbeaten Canton McKinley and 9-1 Jackson. Sam Bergwood and Dave Alford to bring you the play-by-play. We'll come back with that and the starting lineups and preview tonight's game a little bit more after we take these two timeouts.
He is the leading scorer for the Polar Bears. And in the middle, John Pomoni, a 6'5 junior, averaging 4.8 points a ball game. So the front lines for these two clubs, for Jackson, is 6'5", 6'5", and 6'8". The three tallest for McKinley, 6'1", 6'2", and 6'4". McKinley coming in, they average 68.5 a ball game, give up 53.3 a game. Jackson, they score 63 a ball game, give up only 49.6 points a game. For Jackson, their starting lineup will have 2 seniors and 3 juniors. For McKinley, they will start 5 seniors.
All right, David, thank you. Settle in, folks, and enjoy this one. Should be a great matchup. Jackson-McKinley. Last 2 meetings between the clubs at the Fieldhouse were won by McKinley, 50-48 and 71-69. Larry Taylor, head coach of the Bears. Dave Hoover for the Pups. McKinley in the all-white tonight, white tops and bottoms, black numbers, red letters trimmed to the red and black. Jackson, the traveling dark purple tops and bottoms, white numbers and letters trimmed in the purple and gold. Hipsher and McLeod are jumping up in the center circle, and we are underway, and the Bears get the tip at Grisack line. Lane rebounded by Hipsher, puts it up and in. And there are the first 2 points of the ball game belonging to Andy Hipsher and the Jackson Polar Bears. It's a 2-0 lead, and right away, Larry Taylor spreads the zone out. It's a 2-3 for Jackson. Lewis to McLeod on the wing. McLeod driving baseline. Cut off back out on top to Lewis. Lewis between the circles on the wing to Richard Bradley on the corner Peterson. Kenny looking inside, now back to Bradley. Bradley, line lane. Skidder steps, gets it off to McLeod. 18-footer, line driving it out, no good. Rebound Bears. Andy Hipsher with his first rebound of the night. That is Brown Sword, top of the key. Spin it on Lewis, right side of McCormick. 7:15 in the first. Jackson 2, McKinley nothing. Give and go to Andy Hipsher. Blocked off the glass by McLeod into the hands of Bradley. Bradley coming across the timeline on the right wing to McLeod. Keith, line lane, shoves it back to Bradley for the 3. It's good. Richard bombs away at the top of the key, and we are at the 6:57 mark. McKinley takes their first lead of the night, 3-2, as Bradley hammered it on the top of the key, about 20 feet away. A little pressure by the Pups, but the Bears are able to break that without a problem. Brown Sword coming across the timeline. Brown Sword on the left wing. He hands it off to McCormick. McCormick looks inside. Holds the ball high over his head, now puts it on the floor. Couple of dribbles, picks it up. Left side to Hipsher. Give it, go to McCormick. To this whole line lane, shot glass, falls off the rim, no. Rebound McCormick, put it up, no good. Taken down by the Bulldogs. That is Kenny Peterson. So here come the Pups left to right on your radio now. Terrell Lewis out on top to Bradley. Right wing to McLeod. 6:25 to go. 3 for McKinley, 2 for the Polar Bears on WHBC 1480 in Canton. Game 2 of our doubleheader here at the Fieldhouse. Mansfield beat the Timpkin in the first game. McLeod, line lane, spin, glass and good. Keith McLeod, a little creativity that time. McKinley 5-2. Again, token pressure by the Pups. McCormick in backcourt needs help, gets it off the Brown Sword. Aaron across the timeline. They got the numbers, run and gun. Aaron Brown Sword, a floater up and in. Brown Sword with his first 2. The Polar Bears pull back to within 1 at 5-4. We're in the early goings of the Fieldhouse. McKinley Jackson. Another 3 by Bradley. That one's no good. Rebound lost on the floor. Picked up by McLeod, and a foul was called on Andy Hipsher as he grabbed McLeod a little bit as he went down to pick up that loose ball.
Hipsher with a foul. That's his first, team's first.
Larry Taylor off the bench. Hodge inbound to McLeod. Out on top to Terrell Lewis between the circles. Lewis on the wing. Baseline to Hodge. A little ball fake, and Hodge walked with the ball, and it goes back to Jackson. 5:32 in the first. 5-4. Bulldogs in front. Jackson played last night. They beat Lake 58-55. McKinley's had an entire week off to get set for this ball game here. We'll see if they have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter. Brown Sword, line lane, 15-footer on the run the gun, no. Rebound taken down by Keith McLeod. First rebound from McLeod. He's going end-to-end. He had it taken away by the Polar Bears. Down to floor to Hipsher. Hipsher will drive, lay it up, and he is hammered from behind by Richard Bradley. And Hipsher will shoot 2, line left.
Bradley gets the foul. That's the first Bulldogs foul of the night. It belongs to Richard Bradley. 5:15 left to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs by 1, 5-4. But Andy Hipsher, line left, will get 2 shots here. He can give Jackson the lead again. First one on its way. Good. Score tied at 5. Hipsher averaging almost 19 a ball game. 3 so far in this one. And now 4 as he made them both.
So Hipsher with 4, and it's 6-5 now. Jackson back out in front by 1. Each team with a couple of rebounds in this one. Lewis on the wing to Bradley. Back to Terrell Lewis. Cross court. That's McLeod. In the corner, Peterson. Left-handed pass to McLeod. Jackson still in a 2-3 zone. McLeod matching up here briefly with Brownsword. Gets it off to Lewis. Back to McLeod on the wing. Penetrates back to Lewis. Left side, Bradley. Pup's going to have to hit from outside. Bradley goes up for the shot. And a foul has been called on the Polar Bears on the shot from McLeod. It's going to be on Andy Hipsher, I think.
No, it's on Grizzick. 2-4 instead of 3-4. 2-4. Andy Grizzick, his first, team second.
4:48 of the first. 6-5. Jackson on top by 1. Pups to inbound. The ball's deflected and stolen by the Polar Bears. It is Sean McCormick who takes it away to head to Brownsword. Brownsword walks it across the midcourt line, working on Lewis. Aaron with the right-hand dribble on the right wing to McCormick. McCormick, he is posted on Bradley. Pups in a man-to-man defense. McCormick comes between the circles. Now back to the right wing. Needs some help. Gets it off to Hipsher just in the nick of time. Hipsher's picked up by McLeod. Andy working one-on-one. Gives it to the cutter Brownsword off the glass. And good. No, they're going to take it away on offensive foul. No basket. Offensive foul on the Jackson Polar Bears on Brownsword. That is his first.
Team's third. Larry Taylor can't believe it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am. I thought charging fouls were not counted as team fouls.
Don't know. I think maybe, I don't know.
The Bulldogs have just turned it over as McLeod carried the basketball. I could be wrong, but I always thought that was not charged as a team foul.
That's McKinley's 4th turnover of the ball game. We played almost 4 minutes in the first quarter.
Here come the Polar Bears in their purple unis, working it right to left on your radio dial. Tim Friedman is checked in for the Pups, number 40. Hipsher going to launch a 3. It's off the footing iron. Rebound. Friedman lost it. Picked up by Brownsword to McCormick. He'll launch the 3. He got it. McCormick with a bomb. 9-5. Jackson by 4. 3:40 in the first quarter of play. Bessler getting ready to check in for Larry Taylor's Polar Bears. They swing it around the arc. McLeod going to fire a 3. It's up and good. And McLeod with 5. That's his first home run ball. 9-8. Jackson by 1. McCormick in the backcourt to Brownsword. Here come the Polar Bears. 3:20 in the first. It's a 1-point Jackson lead. Brownsword, a crossover dribble between the circles on the right wing to McCormick. He's picked up by Bradley. McCormick looking for the cutter. There it is. Hipsher, line lane, glass and good. Andy Hipsher got a pretty good pass, took it to the bucket and dropped it in. 11-8. Jackson by 3. Hipsher with 6 points in the ballgame. Friedman on the wing inside. That is Les Thompson who's checked in. McLeod left side. Bradley for the 3. It's good. To Bradley. Another 3 for the Bulldogs. They're tied at 11. 2:47. Running clock in the first quarter of play. And a foul has been called on Tim Friedman for the block in the backcourt. That'll be Friedman's first and the second team foul of the Bulldogs.
Individually for McKinley, it's been Bradley and McLeod the scorers. Bradley with 6, McLeod with 5. For Jackson, it's Hipsher with 6, McCormick with 3, Brownsword with 2.
Clock back into motion now. 2:40 and running. McCormick, little pressure, breaks the timeline, gets it off to Brownsword on the wing, picked up by Friedman. Trying to work a cutter to the hole. They do it again. Hipsher, glass rim, and no. Down the floor to Friedman. He's got 1-on-0. He will drive, and he's fouled from behind. And the foul is going to be on Brownsword, and I believe that's Aaron's second.
It is his second, team's 4th. They got one on the board, but I don't think that's right. Now they changed it to 2. At the foul line for the Bulldogs, Tim Friedman, a 5'11 junior. Before the shots, we'll get a substitution or 2 for Jackson.
Emil and Taloni back in for the Polar Bears, and Bessler and Brownsword will sit down. 2:27 in the first. We are tied at 11, and Tim Friedman line right for the Bulldogs, shooting 2.
Looking for his first points of the ball game. He could break this 11-11 tie with the free shots. First one on its way too hard off the back of the rim. Score remains 11 for McKinley, 11 for Jackson. 2:27 to play in the first quarter here at the Fieldhouse. Second game of a doubleheader. Mansfield winning the first over Timken. Second shot by Friedman up and good.
So the Pups taking a 12-11 lead. 2:25 of the first. McCormick across the timeline, working one-on-one against Bradley. McCormick with the left hand, picks his dribble up, dumps it left side to Emil. Emil has been a big spark plug for this Jackson team all season long. McCormick on the wing. He's behind the arc, working on Richard Bradley. Comes to a stop, bounce pass to Emil on the left side. Emil with the ball over his head, now going to drive baseline, pumps it from 15, up and good. Emil has done it all year long. 13-12, Jackson by 1. That's exactly what the Polar Bears are looking for off the bench by number 20. Bradley, line, lane. Nice jump stop, and he walked. Tried to go with that quick hop to the basket, and he was called for traveling, and the Bulldogs have turned it over.
For the 6th time in the first quarter.
Bessler back in, Taloni sits down. 1:47 of the opening quarter at the Fieldhouse. 13-12, Jackson leads it by 1. And the Bears coming across the timeline to the person is Sean McCormick, working on Richard Bradley. McCormick left-hand dribble, might have carried it. Gets it off to Bessler. Bessler going one-on-one, he walked. So the ball goes back to McKinley at 1:31 to go. Still 13-12 Jackson.
Second turnover now for Jackson.
14 fouls on the Polar Bears, 2 on the Pups as we come up on the minute 25 mark. McLeod swings it around the arc to Bradley. Back to McLeod. Keith one-on-one. Stop it. Top 15-footer. In and out. No. Rebound. Taken down by Krisak. That's his first board of the night. Here come the Polar Bears with 1:12 to go. They lead it by 1. On the far side, Emil goes around a screen. Line, lane, spin. Ball poked away, and a foul has been called. I believe Kenny Peterson is going to get called for reaching in.
That is exactly the call. Peterson with his first. McKinley now 3 team fouls. Jackson will inbound the ball underneath their own bucket. That will be Sean McCormick to trigger.
13-12 Jackson. McCormick lobs it into Hipsher. Hipsher posting up on McLeod. Leans in, now passes it back to McCormick for the 3. Sean McCormick with 6. And the Polar Bears now, again, their biggest lead of the night at 4 at 16-12 and 48 seconds to go. First quarter for the Fieldhouse. Thompson to Friedman, to McLeod, to Bradley. Richard faked the 3 and walked. And Dave Hoover is incensed about that call. He is just pacing up and down the sidelines and glaring at the official. 42 seconds to go, and Jackson may just hold for 1. They lead at 16-12 and 36 seconds and a running clock in the first quarter of play. McCormick across the timeline. Boy, Dave's still chewing on the ear of the official. McCormick on the wing down to 28 seconds. Out on top, Andy Hipsher. And a whistle and a what? Now they're going to call an offensive foul on Matt Bessler. Polar Bears getting a lot of action in the paint. And for that reason, Leo Triplett is checked in at 6'9", and Friedman will sit down. 20 seconds, clock running, 16-12 Jackson. Pups have the basketball. McLeod on the right side to Lewis. Back to McLeod. Keith to the top of the key, working with the right-hand dribble. He may just keep it until he fires it. Down to 7 seconds. That's Bradley on the wing, gets it around to McLeod baseline with 4. McLeod one-on-one, stop and pop, 15-footer. Nope, but a foul has been called on Leo Triplett. With 1 second left, a loose ball foul on Leo Triplett.
14 fouls now on McKinley.
So the Bears will have 1 second, and they will not bother to take a shot, and that'll do it. 8 minutes in the book at the Fieldhouse. It is Jackson 16 and Canton McKinley 12. We'll take a break and come back to the Fieldhouse. Quarter is in the book. It's Jackson on top 16-12. Welcome back into the Fieldhouse, folks. Sam Berkman and Dave Albert with you. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Mansfield beat Tipton in the first game, 76-47. Don't forget the Cavs and Supersonics coming up after our ball game here tonight.
Pretty good shooting in that first quarter by both teams. McKinley 50% on 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. There was also 3 of 4 from three-point range. Jackson 6 of 13 from the floor, 46%, 2 of 2 from the line. Jackson 2 of 3 from three-point range.
For the Bulldogs, it's McLeod, Lewis, Bradley, Triplett, and Thompson. For the Polar Bears, Brownsword, McCormick, Hipsher, Taloni, and Grisak. Bradley, line lane, shoves it to Lewis on the wing. Terrell, leap and lean, pass inside to Thompson. Shot no good, but he was fouled as he goes down to the deck. Les will shoot a couple line right.
Les Thompson, 3 shot up and good. Thompson averaging just under 4 a ball game, his first one of the night. 16-13 Jackson. That foul shot popped in and popped out.
Rebound taken down by Sean McCormick. That's his 3rd rebound of the night. So Thompson gets 1 out of 2. It's 16-13 Jackson. Second quarter just underway. Bears with the basketball moving to the right to left. Hipsher on the wing to McCormick. McCormick looking for something in the paint. Nothing there. Now Sean going to come around top side. McCormick keeps the dribble alive. Tried to lean in. Nothing home. Double team for a second. Gets out of it to Grisak. Grisak to McCormick in a drive baseline. Cut off. Now gets a shot off. It went in, but he stepped on the baseline and turns it over. We'll go back to McKinley. Coming into tonight's game, Jackson was shooting 50.5% from the floor for the year. The school record is 50.3%, so they are bettering that by a couple of percentage points. They come in 9-1, the Pups 9-0, and the #1 team in the state of Ohio in Division I. Lewis to Thompson, put it up and good. And he is fouled. Great dish by Terrell Lewis as he penetrated, kicked it to Thompson, and Les dropped it through, and he'll try to complete the three-point play.
Chris Grisak picked up his 2nd personal foul. Jackson now with 17 fouls. Les Thompson back at the foul line for McKinley. 2 points. Has 3 points in the ball game. Looking for number 4. Could give McKinley the tie. Does not.
Nope, but Leo Triplett got the rebound. Out on top, Terrell Lewis for the 3. No good. Rebound. They're calling it touchy inside.
This one again.
Foul on Jackson. Larry Taylor wants a timeout.
Foul is on Taloni. That's his 2nd.
And the Polar Bears are going to talk about things. We've got a stoppage in play here. 6:48 at 16-15 Jackson. That was McKinley's first basket in the paint for the night, and that was by Les Thompson.
This Jackson team getting themselves in foul trouble. Taloni with 2, Brownsword with 2, Grisak with 2. They have 8 already. McKinley with only 4. We still have 6:48 to play in the second quarter with McKinley down by 1, 16-15.
Well, what Jackson's going to have to do, I think Larry Taylor and Gary Jones are probably telling them this. Guys, they're calling it awful tight. You're going to have to adjust to the way that they're calling the game. Jackson used to playing that physical style of basketball that they play in the Federal League, and the officials are really watching things. And all you have to do is look at the scoreboard and see 18 fouls already. So they're going to have to tone their play down a bit to stay out of foul trouble. Leo Triplett, line right for the Bulldogs.
He'll shoot the 1-1. That one up and good. So Triplett in the book with his first point of the game. The score tied now at 16 apiece. Triplett, a 6'9" senior. Second one too hard off the back of the rim.
Picked off by Andy Hipsher, his second rebound of the night. So we have 6:45 of the first half. It's 16-16. McKinley Jackson here at the Fieldhouse. Brown sword between the circles on the right side to Hipsher, picked up by McLeod. Andy looking to make a move toward the bucket. Little penetration, kicks it back to Bessler. Bessler line lane, scoops it up and in, and he's fouled. So Bessler, not known for his scoring abilities, a little creativity. Down the paint, flipped it up and in. He'll try to complete the three-point play. Foul is on. Well, there is no 52 out there. Maybe they called that on Leo Triplett. Who knows? 19-16. Bessler completes the three-point play, gets his first three of the night. 19-16 Bears. 6:17 running clock in the first half. McLeod, one-on-one against Hamil. Spins, back to Lewis. Terrell, baseline cut off by Hamil, back to McLeod. McLeod line to the lane, running one-handed shot. No good, but he drew the contact.
You were right, Sam, on that last foul. They just put up Leo Triplett's number, his second foul of the game.
That foul was on Sean McCormick.
That'll be his first, but the ninth on Jackson. At the line, Keith McLeod, his first trip to the line tonight, averaging 21 a game, has 6 now as he made that free shot. McKinley down by 2, 19-17. McLeod's second one up and good.
So Keith McLeod, 7 points in the game. Now the Pup's going full court trap. Brown sword, did he get out of it? Yes, and he also got a foul called on Terrell Lewis.
Lewis with his first. McKinley now with 6. 6:04 to go in the second quarter. McKinley down by 1, 19-18.
15 fouls have been called in this game already. Let them play, guys. Let them play. Brown sword, the top of the key, left side to Hipsher.
I think there's only 2 officials, too.
Thank God for that. Hipsher had the ball poked away by McLeod. Hipsher gets it back. Andy gets it on the left side of McCormick. Sean looking inside. Pups digging it on defense, but Hipsher, or Brown sword rather, got free underneath off a couple of screens and dropped it in. Aaron with 4 in the game. Jackson on top by 3 again at 21-18. Bradley on the wing. Again, Jackson, that stifling 2-3 matchup zone. Peterson is checked back in. Back to Bradley for the 3. It's across the rim. Rebound Les Thompson off the glass. No. Rebound Les Thompson, and he's fouled. Foul's going to go on Andy Hipsher, I believe. So Les Thompson doing the dirty work underneath the basket. Picked up a couple of rebounds, and he'll be rewarded with some free throws. Line right, 9 team fouls on Jackson.
No, I think that'll be number 10.
You're right. So they're in the double bonus now.
Hipsher with his second. Thompson 1 of 3 from the strike.
Ooh.
Now 1 of 4 as he missed that one badly. 21-18 the score. Jackson on top of McKinley. Thompson's second shot up and good. 21-19 now.
So Les Thompson, 4 points in the ball game. He comes in averaging 3.4, so he's over that average. Pups putting a little press on, and Jackson beats it no problem. Brown sword on the wing against Terrell Lewis. Brown sword picked up his dribble. Has to fire that on top to McCormick. McCormick working on Bradley. Bounce pass on the right side to Hipsher. 4:59 of the first half. 21-19. Jackson on top by 2. McCormick to Hipsher. Andy looking for a screen. Doesn't get it. Shoves off on McLeod a bit. Throws it on the top to Brown sword against Lewis. Aaron spin, line lane, leans in, kept his pivot foot, shot glass rim, no. They fight for the rebound. Hipsher got it and put it right back up and in. Good job by Andy Hipsher. A rebound and a bucket, and Jackson on top, 23-19 now. 4:30 to go in the first half. Lewis top of the key, left side to Bradley. 2-3 zone. Still about, matter of fact, they've been in that zone just about all night. McLeod top of the key, right side to Lewis. Durrell, little spin move on Brown's sword, flips it on the top of the key to Bradley, and the Bulldogs are going to take a 20-second timeout. With 4:15 in the first half. Jackson 23 and McKinley 19. You're listening to 1480 WHBC in Canton. Sam Burke with Dave Albert. Game 2 from the Fieldhouse. Great crowd on hand tonight. Not very many empty seats. Game 1 went to Mansfield 76-47 as they beat the Timken Trojans.
In the ball game, 16 team fouls called. Canton McKinley, they have 3, 5, 6 of their points from the line. They are 6 of 11 from the line tonight as a team. Jackson 3 of 3 from the stripe. McKinley will inbound the ball. That is Richard Bradley to toss it in.
So the Pups with a basketball. Lewis to McLeod to Lewis. Now Terrell going to come right way. Jackson still on his own. They fall back a bit. McLeod on the far side. Ball fake into the paint. Line lane. McLeod jumps in for the 4-footer. No. Rebound. Les Thompson up and in.
Thompson now with 6.
Les Thompson with 4 rebounds and 6 points. And it is 23-21 now. Another foul in the backcourt. This one's called on Richard Bradley.
That'll be his second. McKinley now over the limit. That was their 7th. And the one thing you really don't want to do is put Jackson at the foul line. Year after year after year, they are very good from the stripe. Tonight it'll be Sean McCormick doing the shooting for the first time. Shot in the air, good. Jackson now 4 of 4 from the stripe. Coming in, they were 69% from the free throw line,
which is a little bit low for them.
McCormick made them both.
They were 10 out of 23 a couple of weeks ago from the foul line, and that really hurt them. That brought their average down a bit. Other than that, though, they're a good foul shooting team. Thompson underneath, missed the layup. Les got his own rebound, fights it back up, no good. And it goes out of bounds. It'll go back to McKinley. Nope, going to go to Jackson. There you go.
Since there's only 2, I don't know who got the bigger vote.
25-21 in favor of Jackson. Boulder Bears with the basketball. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. Les Thompson for McKinley, 6 points and 6 rebounds. Hipsher on the wing, picked up by McLeod. Andy looking inside, now going to go to the hole. Baseline, fights it up, shot blocked out of bounds by Marcus Reasanover. Reasanover's first action of the night. 6'7" senior. Jackson to inbound. 3:19 of the first half. Emil to do the honors. Now they're going to send Hipsher off to the bench. He may have a cut. Yeah. Jackson leads it by 4.
Whatever it is, he's going to sit down. And number 52, John Coloni, coming back in for Jackson. Jackson a 4-point lead, 25-21.
Coloni gets the inbounds pass down on top to McCormick. McCormick on Friedman. McCormick one-on-one. Keeps the dribble alive. Friedman in on the defense. Bounce pass to Hipsher. Fights it up, no. Rebound taken out of there by Reasanover. His first board. Here come the Bulldogs. Lewis across the timeline to McLeod for the 3. 10 for Keith McLeod, and the Bulldogs are back within 1 to 25-24. And a foul has been called on Terrell Lewis in the backcourt, so we'll walk it to the other end of the field house and shoot some more free throws.
Lewis with his second, McKinley with 8. The two teams now have 18 in the first half.
Bill Hodge getting set to check in. Lewis will sit down. Hipsher back in for the Boulder Bears.
will be at the foul line for Jackson. He is just 50% from the stripe on the year, making 17 of 34. Sword averaging 7.2 a ball game, has 4 so far in this one. That one kissed everything but fell off into the hands of Keith McLeod. Here come the Bulldogs. Reach-in foul on Aaron Brownsword. That's his third. Be lucky if we have anybody to finish the game. There has been absolutely no flow to this game at all. Absolutely none. Kessler is in for Jackson as Brownsword sets down with 3.
Now it's Keith McLeod line right for the Bulldogs. He will shoot 2.
McLeod 2 of 2 tonight from the line. 10 points in the ball game. 25-24 the score. Now 25-25 as McLeod cans the first of 2. McLeod now with 11.
McLeod rattled the second one in. He's got 12 in the game, and the Bulldogs have taken the lead at 26-25. Steal by Bradley in the front court to McLeod. Give the steal to Friedman, rather. Keith McLeod working one-on-one. Hodge. 3. No. Strong. Rebound Friedman out on top of McLeod. McLeod, he's behind the wing. Now he will slow things down a bit and get everybody organized underneath the hoop. Pups pull it out a little bit. Friedman out on top of McLeod. 2:27 in the first half. Hodge on the wing. Back to McLeod. Left side Friedman. Friedman going to drive line lane. Picked up his dribble. Needs help. Gets it back to McLeod. Thought about a 3. Kept his dribble. Put to Friedman. Right side to Hodge. Hodge with about 18 feet away out on top of Friedman. Left side to McLeod. Keith thought about hoisting it up. Takes a better look at it. Gets it to Friedman to Hodge. Down to 2:05 to go. McLeod. Line lane. Splits a couple of defenders. Gets the shot off, but he was fouled. And we'll see who this is on. Emil is first. Two minutes left in the first half. 26-25 McKinley. Thompson sits down.
Campbell has checked into the McKinley lineup. 5'9" freshman.
Leonard Campbell getting some big-time game experience here.
McLeod's free shot up and good. That's 5 in a row for Keith McLeod. 27-25 the Bulldogs. Exactly 2 minutes left to play here in the second quarter at the Fieldhouse. McLeod eyes the second one. It's on its way and good.
14 for Keith McLeod, and the Pups have built their biggest lead at 3. 28-25. Polar Bears with the basketball. Minute 55 in the first half. McCormick across the timeline working on Friedman. Comes to a stop. Lobs to Bessler. Double team. Triple team. Bessler put it up no good. And the rebound taken off by Hodge. Here come the Pups. McLeod on the wing. McLeod out on top to Campbell. Back to McLeod. Down to a minute 37 to go. McLeod with the basketball, fumbled it away, gets it back. Now pulls it out on top to Campbell. The freshman Leonard Campbell back to McLeod in the corner. That is Hodge. Bears still in that 2-3 zone. They have not come out of it yet. Friedman. Campbell. Little penetration on the wing to McLeod. In the corner to Hodge. They're working around the arc. A minute 15 to go in the first half. McKinley by 3. Friedman shot. Blocked out of the air by Betzler. The Pups get it back, though. McLeod. Line lane. High off the glass. No. Rebound into the hands of Andy Hipsher. So for Hipsher, that's his third rebound of the night. 1 minute left in the first half. McKinley on top by 3, 28-25. Jackson with the basketball, and they lost it. Andy Hipsher just could not hold on to the rock, and it goes out of bounds back to the Pups. 53 seconds to go.
Jackson with their 5th turnover, 3rd this quarter.
Dave Hoover shouting instructions to his club. They may spread things out a bit with 43 seconds, and that's what they're going to do. McLeod will stand at half court and hold on to the ball and wait for Larry Taylor to tell his defense to come out and play man, which I doubt that they will do that. Down to 25 seconds. Friedman, Campbell, and McLeod standing out near the midcourt line, and Reasanover and Hodge on the baseline. Over 4,500 fans on hand at the Fieldhouse. And now they start to get into it with 9 seconds. Campbell on the wing. The freshman out on top to McLeod. Down to 5. McLeod line. Lane beat everybody to the hoop. And he threw the contact with 4 seconds left. Got the shot off. He was fouled, and he was fouled by Hamill.
Ethan Hamill with his second. 13 now for the Polar Bears.
So Keith McLeod will shoot 2 line right. He has 14 points in the game, and he has hit, what, Dave? 5 free throws in a row.
6 in a row.
6 in a row.
And now 7 in a row. 29-25, the Bulldogs on top by 4, and now by 5.
McLeod hit them both, 30-25. He's got 16 in the game. The Bears have 4 seconds. Baseball pass intercepted. 3, 2, 1. Campbell from half court. It's off to the left and no good. Well, that is the end of the first half. You hear a lot of cheering. You hear some booing.
Look at this. The officials at the middle of the floor waiting to go to the locker room. Larry Taylor waiting for him to come by. They will not come by.
2 quarters have been completed here at the Fieldhouse in this big one between McKinley and Jackson. Now the officials make their way to the scoring book.
Nothing to say.
I got a half a mind to go down there and wait for him myself. And I don't care who wins. 30-25. Pups lead it at the half. We'll take a couple of timeouts and come back with halftime festivities. House. McKinley leads it at the half by the score of 30-25 as a huge crowd is gathered here tonight. Game 1 of our doubleheader went to Mansfield as they beat the Timken Trojans 76-47. Timken had 2 in double figures, and Leon Campbell had 19. Jackson. So the Pups outscored the Bears 18-9. No, yeah, 18-9 in the second quarter. And the majority of those points were coming from the free throw line, as we can tell you about the fouls and the free throw shooting as Dave continues to figure up his stats. So there's been a lot of free throws in this ball game. Keith McLeod, the only Bulldog in double figures, with 16. Jackson, nobody in double figures as of yet. Rebounds, they got Les Thompson with 6 to lead the Pups. Keith McLeod has 3, 1 apiece for Reasonover, Triplett, Peterson, and Hodge. 3 rebounds apiece for Hipsher and McCormick, and a rebound for Grizak, and a rebound for Saloni. 30-25. Canton McKinley leads this one at the half. What we'll do is take a couple of breaks, head back. 30 at Jackson 25. And the big fella, Dave Albert, all set for your halftime stats. David?
Turnovers in the ball game. McKinley with 7, all in the first quarter. Jackson with 6, 2 in the first and 4 in the second. Team fouls, there were 21 total. Jackson with 13, McKinley with 8. For Jackson, Brownsword with 3, Camille with 2, Grizak with 2, Hipsher with 2, Maloney with 2, Bessler and McCormick each with 1. For the Bulldogs, they had 8, 2 on Triplett, 2 on Bradley, 2 on Lewis.
Keep it set on 1480. Could have another great finish for you. These 2 teams have played some dandies over the years. Jackson starts with the basketball, moving it left to right under radio. Now McCormick line lane, floater, in and out, no good. McCormick got his own rebound, missed the layup return, and Kenny Peterson pulls down the rebound. Second rebound for Peterson from McCormick. That's his 4th quarter, but could not. The 3 barely grazed the iron, but Lewis got the rebound to Bradley, who fumbled it. And he picks it back up on the right side to Keith McLeod. They work it around the zone. Lewis penetrates, line lane, scoops at the top. And did not get the basketball. And the Pups turn it over into the hands of Taloni to Brownsword, who walks it across the timeline. 7:13 in the third quarter. McKinley 30 and Jackson 25. Pups in a stingy man-to-man defense still. Bears with it. On the wing, that is Andy Hipsher. Looking inside. Andy puts it on the floor. Goes around a Taloni screen. Hipsher needs help. Gets it out to McCormick. McCormick working on Bradley. Sean one-on-one. Now he picks up his dribble. Looking for the bounce pass. Does so to Brownsword on the block. He spins. He leans in. He fires up a floater. No. Rebound taken out of there by Grizak. Double pump shot. No good, but he got hammered by Les Thompson. So Grisak with the rebound, he'll shoot 2.
Thompson with the foul. That's his first, team's first here in the second half. Hipsher fouled in the act of shooting. Will get 2 shots. Hipsher 80% coming into tonight's ball game. 2 of 2 from the line in the first quarter. Missed the free shot. Andy Hipsher, almost 19 a ball game, has 8 so far in this one. Jackson trails by 5, 30-25 as Hipsher makes ready for the second shot in the air, and no good. That was Grisak. Sorry about that. 34-24.
6:33 to go. Pups with a basketball. Lewis. Line lay. Penetrates. Floater from 6. Crawls off the iron to Hipsher, who lost it off his knee, and it goes out of bounds. Hipsher picked up his 4th rebound, but could not hold on to the basketball. Hamill back in. Grisak will sit down. McKinley still leads it by 5. 6:25 left in the third quarter here at the Fieldhouse. Sam Berkman, Dave Albert on WHBC. McLeod with the basketball, pulls it out on top to Terrell Lewis. The 5'7" senior shoves it on the right side. Peterson on the block. 15-footer, too strong for Kenny. And the rebound taken out of there by Andy Hipsher. Good rebound for Hipsher.
You realize, Sam, that was Peterson's first shot of the game?
Yeah, coming at about 6:10 to go in the third quarter. McCormick with the basketball on Bradley. McCormick, bounce pass high post to Hipsher, who's working on McLeod. Ain't going to go down the lane. Lost the ball, gets it back to Brownsword. Aaron drives, throws up a wild shot. Glass rim, no. Taloni sneaks in there for the rebound. He lost it. Picked out of the air by Hipsher, who lays it up and in, and he's fouled.
Could put Andy Hipsher in double figures with 10. Foul was on Peterson. That's his second, team second.
So that breaks a 6-0 run by the Bulldogs. And now Jackson can get it within 2 with a Hipsher free throw.
And now Hipsher is line right with the free throw. And it's up and good.
McKinley 30, Jackson 28. Hipsher with 9 in the ball game. He leads all scorers for Jackson. Oh, yeah. 30-28. Peterson fires it on the baseline. No, Peterson got the rebound. He was bumped by Taloni, I think, from behind. So Kenny picks off another rebound.
Taloni gets the foul, his third, team's first here in the second half.
Pups to inbound. Bradley to Lewis. Lewis behind the arc. Swings it top of the key to McLeod, right side to Bradley. Richard penetrates, back to Keith, left side Terrell. Out on top to McLeod between the circles. Jackson still in a 2-3 zone. McLeod going to penetrate, one-on-one, leap and lean, shot glass and a beauty. Keith McLeod, just excellent at getting some position after a drop step. He's got 18. And the Pups, again, by 4, 32-28, 5 minutes to go third quarter. Across the timeline, Brownsword. He is hounded by Lewis, gets it off to Hipsher. Andy with the ball high over his head of that triple threat position. Now he picks his dribble up. Bounce pass high post to Loaded. Slowly working on Peterson. On the right side, McCormick. They lob it inside for Hipsher. Goes off his hands and out of bounds. Jackson has turned it over again.
That's their 8th turnover, second this quarter.
Very reason over getting set to check in. And timeout has been called by the Polar Bears. 4:43 left in the third. McKinley by 4. We'll be back right after this. seconds left in the third quarter. At the Fieldhouse, it's McKinley 32, Jackson 28. Mansfield beat Tipton in the opener. University of Akron, a big win today over Bowling Green as the Zips take over first place in the East Division, the Mid-American Conference. Jamal Ball, Jamie Bosley on hand for this ball game here tonight at the Fieldhouse. Both had great games for Dan Hipsher's Zips earlier this afternoon. Shot put up in the paint by Bradley Tipno. Tipno rebounded by Reasonover. Has it on the floor out top for the three by Lewis No. And the foul has been called on Andy Hipsher as he knocked Reasonover to the deck.
Andy Hipsher with his third foul of the ball game, second on the Bears here in the second half. 15 now on the Bears in the ball game. McKinley will inbound. That'll be Richard Bradley to toss it in.
4:20 to go. Bradley out on top to McLeod. McLeod behind the arc. Left side Lewis to Bradley. Bradley on the baseline. Gets a screen from Thompson. Throws it back out on top to Lewis. Terrell between the circles with the left-hand dribble. Jackson still in a 2-3 zone. Pups with the ball up by 4. 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Reasonover. Nice give and go. Lewis to McLeod. Goes all the way into the basket. Back out on top to Bradley. Bradley penetrates, dishes to Thompson. Lays it up and in. Wes Thompson with 8 points. And the Bulldogs now shove it out to 6 at 34-28. Little token pressure in the backcourt. Brown Sword beats it across the timeline. Good spin move by Brown Sword to McCormick on the wing. Baseline. Sean. Hook pass out on to the right side. Hipsher for the 3. It's good. Andy Hipsher nails the 3. He's got 14 points. 34-31. And to pull the net back down after Hipsher swished that one from the baseline. Pups by 3. They have the ball. 3:27 to go third quarter. McLeod to Bradley to Lewis to McLeod. Keith between the circles, working one-on-one. Penetrates the zone. Dribble drive on the right side to Bradley. Hook pass underneath for Lewis. Ball poked away. Terrell gets it right back out on top to McLeod. Down to 3:13 to go. Bradley on the wing. They're still in his zone defense. Out on top, Lewis. Terrell between the circles, right side to McLeod. Reasonover trying to post up inside, but they're keeping him away from the action. Lewis on the wing. Out on top to McLeod. Pups have been very patient with the basketball. Thompson baseline. No, it crawled off the rim. Reasonover had the rebound and a foul on Reasonover. A loose ball foul. And now Dave Hoover is incensed after that call. Reasonover with his first. McKinley now 3 team fouls. So no rebound. Hipsher thought about going deep, instead hands it to McCormick in the backcourt. Sean looks to bring it over the timeline. 2:48, 2:47, running clock, third quarter. McKinley up by 3. Hipsher's got it on the wing. Andy with the basketball working on McLeod. Hipsher comes off the dribble, gives it to Brown, so they lob it into Hipsher. Andy's got some position, goes to the hole, and he was fouled.
Maybe Reasonover again. Nope, it's going to be McLeod. That'll be Keith first, McKinley's fourth. Hodge in, Friedman in, Lewis out, Thompson out. 2:33 to go. McKinley by 3. Andy Hipsher will shoot to line right. In the contest, Andy 14 points and 6 rebounds. Also 3 of 3 from the stripe tonight. Making 4-4 as that one crawled in. 34-32, the Pups by 2. 2:33 left to play in the third. Hipsher's second shot short off the front of the rim. Rebound taken out of there by Reasonover. He's got 3 boards ahead of McLeod. Here come the Bulldogs. Right to left on the radio now. Keith going to go all the way to the hole. Scoops up a shot. No good, but he drew the contact. Very explosive, McLeod. Once he got to the foul line, he put it in another gear. Took it to the hole, missed the shot, but he will shoot 2 line left. Oh, my. That's 4 on Coloni. Coloni will come out. That is number 40, I believe, for Jackson. Matt Bethler back in. McLeod, line left. 18 points from McLeod tonight. Shooting 2. McLeod, 8 of 8 from the stripe so far in the ball game. Now 9 of 9 as he switched that one. 19 in the ball game. McKinley a 3-point lead. And now a 4-point lead is McLeod, 10 of 10 from the foul line. 20 points for Keith McLeod to match his jersey number, and the Pups again by 4, 36-32. We're
or the third quarter at the Fieldhouse. 2:18 to go. They lob it inside. Hamill got two pups up in the air, put it up and in, and he is fouled. Great ball fake by Hamill. Kissed it off the window, and he'll shoot a free throw.
Foul was on Bradley. That'll be his third. It is on Bradley. That's his third. Team's fifth. Hamill line right looking for the three-point play. Hamill 68% from the line coming in. It'll be his first time tonight. Hamill with 4 points in the ball game. Shot in the air and good. Hamill with 5. Jackson has trimmed her down to 36-30. Should be 36-35, right? Let me check. There you go. McLeod goes end to end, lays it up and in, little 4-foot dump, 38-35. McLeod now 22 points in the game. Under 2 minutes to go. Brown Sword lost it in the backcourt, got it back, picked it up, and he double dribbled. So McKinley, for the first time, was able to cause a little havoc in the backcourt with pressure, and Jackson turned it over. So Hodge will inbound for McKinley.
Ups to the ball. 1:52 to go. The intensity is starting to rise a little bit here in the Fieldhouse tonight. McKinley by 3. They have the basketball. McLeod to Bradley at the top of the key on the left side. Friedman to Peterson. Kenny dumps it out on top to Keith McLeod between the circle. You know Keith wants to go one-on-one. There he goes. Line lane. Nope. Offensive foul. Ran over one of the polar bears, and McLeod picks it up. That's his second, and the team 6.
You know, that time Jackson was in a 3-2 rather than a 2-3, maybe to stop the penetration.
There's to inbound. Bessler. Back to Aaron Brownsword. Aaron brings it up against Friedman. Brownsword across the timeline. 1:22 in the third. McKinley leads it by 3, 38-35. Hipsher with the ball on the right side to Brownsword. Back to Hipsher. Two-man game now. Hipsher and Brownsword. Andy, nice spin, but McLeod's right there to cut him off. McLeod guarding Hipsher. Hipsher on the block. Turns, spins, leans, forces it up over the hoop, and right back down through. He got a good roll, didn't he? 17 for Hipsher, and it's 38-37. Pups with a basketball. In the corner, that is Peterson. 16 for Andy Hipsher. Foul underneath as Bradley drew some contact. Well, somewhere along the line, I got screwed up with Hipsher's point total. Got him for 16.
That last foul was on Bessler. That is his second, team's fourth. Now McLeod, or check that, that's Bradley. His first time at the line, makes good on the free shot. Bradley now with 7 in the game. 39-37 McKinley, just 44 seconds left to play in the third. Make it 40-37 McKinley.
Bradley with 8, Pups by 3, 44 seconds to go. Bears break the pressure. Brownsword coast to coast, hooks it to Bessler, who fumbled it out of bounds. And it'll go back to the Bulldogs with 37 ticks on the third quarter clock. Bears turn it over. Well, here come the Pups. Larry Taylor encourages his troops, as does Dave Hoover. McLeod just now walking it over the midcourt line. And again, the Pups will hold for 1. McLeod, Friedman, and Bradley in a triangle at the top of the key. 19, 18, 17, clock running. McKinley has 40. Jackson has 37. Bears will stay in that 1-2-2 zone. Now the Pups go after the basket with 10. Friedman goes around a Peterson screen. Friedman almost walked, gets it to McLeod with 4. He's going to fire a 3. It's off the front of the rim, the glass to rim, no rebound by Bessler, and that'll do it. Well, Bessler picks up the rebound as we have ended 3 quarters of play. Boy, doesn't it feel like a tournament game. We go to the fourth. McKinley 40 at Jackson 37. We'll take a break and come back. So it's McKinley 40, Jackson 37. Pups to start with the ball. It's Hodge, Bradley, McLeod, Peterson, and Friedman. For the Pups for the Bears. They're back in a 1-2-2. It's McCormick, Hipsher, Brown Sword, Hamill, and Bessler. Here we go. Friedman out on top to Keith McLeod. Looks as though if the Pups, again, going to be very patient with the basketball, working around. Either hoist up an open three or McLeod's going to go one-on-one for some penetration inside. Richard Bradley going to fire a bomb, and he nailed it. Richard Bradley with 11, and the Pups now lead by 6, 43-37. Pressure in the backcourt. Brown Sword trying to get it across. He does. He's working on Friedman. 7:20 to go. McKinley by 6. There's going left to right on your radio now. Hipsher, nice give and go to Brown Sword off the window and in. Aaron Brown Sword with 6. 43-39 McKinley. Pups now have the ball with 7:05 left in the game. Team foul. 6 on the Dogs, 4 on the Bears. Again, they work it around the arc. Jackson stays in that zone. Bradley to Hodge. To Bradley. Richard on the wing. Penetrates to Hodge in the corner. Out on the left wing to McLeod. Keith McLeod with the right-hand dribble between the circles. He's got 22 points tonight to go with 3 rebounds. Bradley at the top of the key. McLeod on the wing into Peterson. Shovels at the Hodge for the 15-footer. No. Keith McLeod got the rebound. Bites it back up and in. 24 points for Keith McLeod, and now it's 45-39 McKinley by 6. Ball goes out of bounds, tipped out of there by Bradley. Bears to inbound at 6:27. Les Thompson checks in. Kenny Peterson will have a seat. See if the Bulldogs continue with that full court press. They're going to try to trap McCormick in the backcourt. Ball tipped, deflected. Hipsher gets it across the timeline. Can he retrieve it? Yes. And he runs it down into Brown Sword. A little 4-foot fade and an air ball. Rebound taken out of there by Hodge. Here come the Pups. McLeod. Run, gun, left side. Friedman. Shot blocked out of bounds by Brown Sword. Credit Aaron for some big-time hustle coming from the other end of the floor to block the shot. And the Pups will inbound it. 6:08 left in the game, and McKinley leads it by 6. Ball lost. Hodge had it into the hands of Friedman. Offensive foul on Friedman. They say he swung one too many elbows to get free underneath, and the ball goes back to Jackson.
How many did you say were here tonight?
I thought about 4,500. They're pretty good at this.
Within 65.
Wow. 4,435 in the Fieldhouse tonight. I'd get a new job. Baseball pass to Brown. Sword. Glass. No. Rebound Lewis. Here come the Bulldogs. Now they got the open floor. Terrell line lane to McLeod. Gonna go baseline. Reverse shot up and no good. But he was fouled. Oh, if that would have went in, the roof would have went off the Fieldhouse. Foul on Jackson. Keith McLeod will shoot 2, line left, but not before we get a Jackson Polderbear timeout. 5:50 left in the game. McKinley leads it by 6. We'll be back right after this.
You're driving to work. Got a hot...
With Dave Albert back at the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. McKinley leads it 45-39. 5:50 left to go in the game, and Dave has a public apology for us.
Yeah. We had a little discrepancy on Andy Hipsher. Dan had him for 17. I had him for 16. Sam was right. I was wrong. He made me do this. He made me publicly apologize.
Yeah, it was your idea.
5:50 to go in this ball game. McKinley up by 6, 45-39. Individually in the game, Hipsher the leader for Jackson, 17. Individually for McKinley, it is Keith McLeod leading the way. He has 24. Richard Bradley with 11. And Keith McLeod at the foul line. He's made 10 in a row from the strike tonight. And that one he missed. McLeod averaging 20.8 a ball game, 24 in this one. Missed them both.
Rebound Andy Hipsher. 7 boards for number 34 for the Polar Bears. 5:45 left in the game, and McKinley leads it by 6. Jackson with the ball. Hipsher working on McLeod. Boy, that's been a great battle, those two. McCormick out on top. Hipsher for a 3. No. Rebound. Brown Sword lays it right back up and in. Brown Sword with 8. 45-41 Pups. Here comes McKinley Lewis in the open court. Jump past the McLeod on the wing. Fakes it now. Goes line, lane. Skips. Foul. On McCormick. McCormick may have grabbed him as he went by.
On McCormick, his second, team 6.
5:18 left in the game. McKinley leads it by 4. They have the basketball. One more foul on Jackson, and both teams will be in the 1-and-1. Hodge to Bradley. Bradley cut off. Now goes baseline. Bounces it to Thompson for the 4-footer, and he missed the little bunny. And the rebound by nobody. McCormick saves it into Thompson, who called a timeout before he got out of bounds. No. It'll stay with Jackson. The ball goes to Jackson. Great hustle by both teams. And the Polar Bears to inbound with 5:06 left in the game, and they trail it by only 4. So nobody gets credit for a rebound there. McCormick on the wing. Sean McCormick has 7 points in this ball game. He came in averaging about 17. McCormick on the wing, goes around a Bessler screen. Line lane, shoves it to Brown Sword. Arrogant drive baseline spin to Hamill. 18-footer, no good. Rebound, Bessler got it, put it up and in. And he's fouled. For Bessler, he'll look for 6 at the line. Jackson trails it by 2. Foul Lewis.
Foul on Lewis, his 3rd. McKinley's 8. 45-43, McKinley over the Polar Bears, but Bessler a chance to cut that lead to 1.
And he does. 45-44. Bessler was 6 in the game, giving 4 rebounds. Here come the Pups. Bradley on the baseline. Double team, needs help. Richard in a world of trouble, and he lost it to Aaron Brown Sword. Brown Sword coming across the timeline in the open floor on the right side of McCormick. McCormick on the wing against Bradley. McCormick wants cleared out. He wants to go 1-on-1. Now he shoves it on the right side to Hipsher. Andy goes to the top of the key now. Looking for a screen from Bessler. Fires it. McCormick for the 3. It's good. And the Polar Bears have taken the lead at 47-45. And McCormick with 10 points, and there's a timeout on the floor.
Jackson as a team, they are 4 of 6 from 3-point range. McCormick with 3 of them. Hipsher with the other one. McKinley, they are 5 of 9. No, check that, 5 of 12. McLeod with 2 and Bradley with 3. Individually, the foul situation for McKinley. Lewis with 3, Bradley with 3. For Jackson, it is Brown Sword, Hipsher, Bessler with 3, John Coloni with 4. Individually, Hipsher the leader with 17, McCormick with 11. For McKinley, it is Keith McLeod with 24, Bradley with 11.
Jackson leads it 47-45. 4:08 left to go in the game. Mansfield won the opener 76-47. Central Catholic beat Massillon tonight 72-65. Ohio State a loser to Michigan earlier today. Akron a winner.
That Massillon game, was that at home or was that at Central?
That was at Massillon tonight. So here we go. 4:05 left in this dandy. Bears lead it 47-45. They have run off 8 points in a row. Friedman to the top of the key now. On the right side of McLeod. NBA three blocked. Blocked by Hipsher to McCormick. McCormick across the timeline to Brownsword. Hook pass in the corner. Three-pointer. No good by Hipsher. It was an air ball. Rebound taken out of the air by Kenny Peterson. Oh, the momentum could have really went to the Polar Bears if they would have hit that three. As we stand, Jackson by 2. Pumps for the ball. 3.5 to go in the game. Bradley a 3. That one is in and out. No, but McLeod hustled in there and picked up that loose rebound. McLeod on the wing. To Friedman. On the baseline to Peterson. Kenny on the block. Out on top to McLeod. 3:15, 3:14. Clock is running. Jackson 47, McKinley 45. Pups have not lost yet this season. McLeod, line lane, spins, gets in the paint. Finger roll up and good, and he's fouled.
I believe was on Sean McCormick. If it is, that's his third.
McLeod, 26 points in the game. He'll look for 27 at the line. He came in averaging 20.8 points a contest. So again, McLeod and Bradley are carrying the Bulldogs offensively again.
Maloney is in. Dessler is out for Jackson.
McLeod hit the free throw, given 27. And now the Pups have taken the lead by 1, 48-47. Now here comes the trap in the backcourt. Hipsher throws it ahead. Ball, foul. Foul is called. Pups almost had a steal, but the foul has been called. Again, Dave Hoover up off the bench. On McLeod, that's his third. So the Polar Bears will shoot the 1-and-1 line right with 2:57 left in the game. Don't forget the Sonics and the Cavaliers coming up when we are done here.
McKinley, 9 team fouls in the second half. That means that the next one, Jackson will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. Right now, it's Brownsword with the 1-and-1. Caught up and good. Brownsword down with 9. Score is tied at 48. 2:57 left to play in the ball game. Brownsword with a chance to give Jackson the lead. He does.
Well, the Polar Bears now lead it 49-48. Turnover in the backcourt. Brownsword off the glass. No. Tip by Hipsher's up and good. 19 for Andy Hipsher. And it is 51-48 Jackson, and a foul has been called. Larry Taylor brings his troops over to the sideline.
That foul on McCormick that's his fourth.
That's his fourth. So Larry Taylor calls Sean over, gives him a big hug, and says, do not commit another foul.
McCormick and Coloni now each with 4 for Jackson. McKinley has 3 players with 3.
2:48 left in the game. Jackson 51, McKinley 48. Keith McLeod shooting line left. Up, good. 28 for Keith McLeod. And makes it 51-49.
51-50 as McLeod made them both.
Keith with 29 in the game. Here comes the press again. Brownsword almost fumbled it. Recovered it, gets it back to McCormick. 51-50 Jackson. Bears with the ball and 2:38 to go in the game. McKinley really digging in on defense now. That is Hipsher. Goes around a Coloni screen. Picks up his dribble, gets it on the right wing to McCormick. McCormick looking high post, nothing there. Now he picks up his dribble, bounce pass to Hipsher on the wing. Hipsher working on McLeod. Keith reaches in, pokes it there, doesn't get anything. Hipsher has to bounce it to McCormick. Down to 2:17 to go. McCormick, high post. They need help. They need help, and they throw it away. It was McCormick and Hipsher playing catch with on the near side, and they just ran out of room. And the Bears have turned it over with 2:11 left. Taloni sits down, and Vessler is back in. The Bulldogs now with the basketball going right to left. They need one to tie, two to go ahead. McLeod to Friedman. In the corner, Peterson. Kenny looks at the hoop. Now back out on top to Bradley. 2 minutes to go in the game. Jackson falls back into a 2-3 zone. McLeod on the wing. Look pass to Thompson. Out on top to Bradley. Right side to Friedman. In the corner, Peterson. Kenny looks. Out on top to McLeod. Almost threw that one away. Timeout, Bulldogs. 1:42 left in the game. Jackson by 1. We'll be back to the Fieldhouse right after this. Reset this one for you. 1:42 to go in the game. Jackson leads McKinley 51-50. 9 fouls on the Pups, 8 on the Polar Bears. And they've 4 fouls each on McCormick
and
Taloni for Jackson. For McKinley, nobody in real serious trouble.
No, Lewis, McLeod, and Bradley each with 3. Timeouts, if you're thinking ahead, each team with 2 left.
Isn't it amazing, as many times as these teams have played, how close every game is? And always comes down to the last 1 or 2 possessions, comes down to free throws, comes down to who can hold on to the basketball. And again, a classic Jackson-McKinley struggle at the Fieldhouse. 4,435 are watching this one. Pups have the ball back into play. Running clock, 1:35. Bradley spins, line lane, throws it up, no good. But he drew the contact. He will shoot 2 line left. Bradley, all on his own, went to the hole, drew the foul.
Foul is on Hamil. That's his third.
1:31 left in the game.
Now with 9 team fouls.
Jackson leads it by 1.
Bradley 2 of 2 from the line tonight. 11 points in the game. Now with 12 as he made that free throw.
51-51. Bradley got them both. Richard with 13 in the game, and now the Pups have regained the lead at 52-51, 1:27 to go. Each team with 9 team fouls. Next one will be double bonus. Hipsher on the far side, picked up by McLeod, gets it to McCormick. McCormick goes around a Bessler screen. McCormick lane, throws it back out on top to Hipsher. Andy working on Keith McLeod. Picks up his dribble, needs some help, gets it to McCormick. Down to 1:07 to go. McCormick drives the baseline, throws up a floater, no good. But he drew the contact with 1:04 to go. And McCormick will shoot 2, line right.
This one's on Richard Bradley, and that's foul number 4. 10 on McKinley this half.
9-0, number 1 team in the state of Ohio in Division I. Jackson 9-1 on the season. McCormick line right.
Shooting 2. First one on the way, good. Score tied at 52.
12 for McCormick. 13 for McCormick as he drains the free throw. The Bears lead by 1, 53-52. Ball kicked out of bounds by Bessler. McKinley to inbound it with 1:01 left to go. Now Hodge going to come back in for the Pups, and Les Thompson will sit down. Les sits down 8 points and 6 rebounds. Hodge back in scoreless with 3 boards. Hodge gets it into Lewis. Lewis in the backcourt to McLeod. Down Florida, Hodge. McKinley's got the numbers. Bradley going to go baseline. Leans in. Lost control. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. 54 seconds left. McKinley to inbound. Jackson leads it by only 1. Hodge gets it way out on top to McLeod. Keith with the basketball. Pulls it out between the circles. On the left wing to Bradley. Clock is running. 46, 45. Lewis between the circles on the left wing to Bradley. Bears still in a 2-3 zone. McLeod going to go one-on-one. Line lane. Ball poked away and taken away by Brown Sword. So now the Bulldogs are going to have to foul. Hipsher across the timeline. Double team, double team. Timeout Jackson. Timeout Jackson. 28 seconds left to go in the game, and it's a 20-second timeout taken by the Polar Bears. 53-52, Jackson leads it.
As we mentioned before, McKinley 2 timeouts left. Jackson now with only 1, but there's only 28 seconds left on the clock. Jackson with the 1-point lead in the ball.
Well, you knew McLeod was sooner or later going to make a move toward the basket. He did. He's got 29 points in the game. But when you're going one-on-one and you're trying to squeeze through a 2-3 zone, lots of arms flying in your face, and Brownsword picked his pocket and got the steal and threw it down the floor, and then the Bears had to call a timeout as they were in trouble of getting a 5-second call. 28 seconds left. Jackson with the ball and a 1-point lead. Hipsher to be the trigger man. Going backdoor for McCormick. Ball out of bounds to McKinley. Kenny Peterson almost made the steal, but let the ball go out of bounds. Here come the Bulldogs. Dave Hoover says play for 1. 20 seconds left in the game, and most of the 4,500 on their feet at the Fieldhouse. Oh, didn't get much better than this. Timeout McKinley. Timeout Bulldogs. 16 seconds left to go. Jackson 53, McKinley 52. Ryan Novak spinning the dials back in Studio C. Cavs and Sonics coming up when we're done here. McKinley beat Jackson last year 57-40. That's about the biggest margin of victory for either one of these teams in a long, long time.
That would have been over there, too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was over at Jackson. Last 2 meetings at the Fieldhouse, McKinley won 50-48, 95-96. And back in the 93-94 season, Pups won at 71-69 in overtime. Remember, Jackson has never beat McKinley here at the Fieldhouse. We told you about McKinley being #1 in the state of Ohio in Division I. Jackson last beat the #1 team in Ohio, 80-73 back in 85-86. And that was over a very good Barberton Magic squad. Can they do it again here tonight?
I tell you, looking around, it looks like there's more people here now than there was halfway through the ball game.
You don't suppose some people snuck in, do you?
I don't know, but they're standing all over the place. And what a thriller to watch. The final 16 seconds.
Sam Burke with Dave Albert from the Fieldhouse. Here we go. 15. 14. Pups will hold for 1. They get it to the hands of McLeod. Goes around a Peterson screen. McLeod, wound, lane, 4-footer. Glass rim, no. Tipped by Peterson, no. Hodge saves it out of bounds. Back to Jackson with 4 seconds left. And McKinley is going to have to foul immediately, and the Polar Bears are going to take time. The Pups did not get a good shot off. McKinley did not get a good shot off. They went with McLeod off of a Peterson screen. The Bears denied it. Hodge tried to get the rebound and save it. Couldn't do so. It went out of bounds to Jackson. And with 4 seconds left, the Bears will inbound. McKinley's going to have to foul in a hurry and send him to the free throw line. It'll be 2 shots because the Bears are in the double bonus.
And McKinley with no more timeouts.
So they're going to have to do things and do them in a hurry. McKinley came in 9-0. Jackson 9-1. And another classic between the Bears and the Bulldogs. This one on the floor of the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. Game 1 tonight. Mansfield over Timpton, 74-67. Central Catholic beat Massillon tonight, 72-65. Again, the Cavs and Sonics coming up when we're done here. 4 seconds left. McKinley really needs a crazy play for them to have a chance to win it. Both teams on the floor. McKinley will look to foul, see if Jackson runs anything off of a screen to get somebody open down floor. McCormick to be the trigger man, lobs it to Hipsher. Stolen! Bradley for a three, no good! The ball game's over. Oh, my. Whoa! The Bulldogs stole the inbounds pass. Bradley got off a three. He missed it, and the ball game is over. And the Polar Bears have upset the #1 team in the state of Ohio in Division I. Jackson wins it. What a finish. What a finish at the Fieldhouse. The Polar Bears win it over the Bulldogs, 53-52. Jackson 10-1 on the season, and the Bulldogs fall to 9-1. Post-game activities are upcoming. Let's take a timeout. Score. Very glad we can bring this one to you on WHBC tonight.